So a few weeks ago, Lisa Hanna took to the internet in true Lisa Hanna type fashion when she exposed what's going on in Jamaica in relations to export of chicken back and chicken neck and the 250% tariff on chicken if you want to bring chicken into Jamaica. So this is what I'd like to pretty much break down and talk about today. Is the 250% tariff a good thing to protect small farmers and the two giant chicken producers in Jamaica? And in terms of chicken parts, chicken back, chicken neck, the $25 million bill that we pay to import these products into Jamaica, is it worth it, or should we be producing more in Jamaica? That is what I'd like to talk about today. So let's talk about it.
23 million US dollars in chicken neck and back is what we import to Jamaica annually. 13 million US dollars in beef offals. That's like the liver and the kidney. Beef trimmings is 16 million US. And then rice is 84 million US dollars. And so you might be asking, Lisa, why do we import so much US dollars worth of animal and rice? Well, it's simply because Jamaicans cannot afford to buy chicken, beef, or fish to feed their families. So they must resort to the parts of the animals, the cuts and the trimmings.
So before I continue, I think it's important to clarify that if there are Jamaicans out there that are questioning the timing of Lisa Hanna coming out online and talking about this, I can understand their concern because, as noted, this is a decades. This has been happening for at least 30 years. So it's not only under this administration, but also, the 18 years of the PJ Patterson administration and even before that. So this has been going on for decades. So if there are Jamaicans that are questioning that, why would Lisa Hanna come, even though, like in her presentation, it's valid and Jamaicans should be concerned about where their food is coming from and the cost of bringing in food to Jamaica. So that's a legitimate concern, but the timing, I can understand if people think that it's political motivated. So let's move on. What I have to say about the chicken back, chicken neck, those chicken parts, intestines coming from the United States of America into Jamaica, it's important to note that it is duty-free, so that is a good thing. There's no duty on chicken back, chicken neck, and those items coming into Jamaica. And what I would say, even before Jamaica started importing all of these chicken parts, in our culture, we have always been a culture that enjoy, your curry chicken back, your brown stew chicken back, your curry chicken foot. So this is not anything new. What I must say, though, is that in America, this 25 million US dollars worth of product that's been imported to Jamaica, in America, to a large extent, this is like them getting rid of garbage. Because in America, when you talk to Jamaicans that's been to America, Canada, and the UK for the past 50 years, for example, my grandmother moved to Canada in the early 80s. And she would tell us that, when she would go to the local butcher shop and stuff like that, and she would buy chicken and she would buy beef. The butcher there would throw in the chicken back, they would throw in chicken foot and all of those things for free because they don't really use those things to a large extent in these first world countries. In the United States, in Canada, for example, chicken back would be used to make a broth. So if you work in any of those fancy hotel, fancy restaurants, they'll get the chicken back and they pretty much get it for free. What they pay for it is nothing. So they'll get it and they'll boil it down with some onion, some scallion, and they'll make broth with it. And they'll use that broth to make a minestrone soup or some chicken broth or whatever to put in risotto or stuff like that. So they don't consume it the way we consume it. So to them, it's like a win-win for them. Sending $25 million US dollars worth of what they don't consume in America to Jamaica is a win-win for them. So that that is my takeaway from this. I don't think it's a bad thing because, as I said, Jamaica consume chicken back, chicken neck, chicken foot a lot. My only concern is that are we getting like a good deal? The average Jamaican family who go out there and get some chicken foot, some chicken back, chicken neck, are we overpaying for it? That is my only concern with this. But to say like the $25 million bill, I don't think it's that of a big deal because we use it. And the reality is that in Jamaica, you can't compete with the production that America and Mexico and Canada, like these chicken plant, like they store like, they'll put out like 1 million units of chicken per day. Jamaica just can't, the reality is that we can't compete with that. And a lot of, as I said, they don't use the chicken back. Like they'll take the chicken apart, they'll take the breast, the leg, the thigh, the chicken wings, and then they'll just throw away the back. So for that, I don't think it's a big deal for Jamaica to be spending that much money bringing in the chicken parts into Jamaica, the chicken back and the neck. It's just that the government should ensure that locals are not overpaying for chicken back and chicken neck, and to ensure that the quality is good, because the reality also is that sometimes these chicken parts could be in a refrigeration system, a freezer system in America for up to 5 years, I've heard. Like they have like these big warehouse in America, in Canada, where they have like a freezer that goes minus 500, and they can store these chicken parts for up to 5 years. So the quality, we have to make sure that the quality of stuff that is coming into Jamaica is not questionable, and that Jamaicans are not overpaying for what Americans would throw in the garbage anyway. So that is my only takeaway from this. And let's continue to see what Lisa Hanna have to say.
This is because the price of chicken meat is out of their reach. I'm not going to any other meats today. You see, for decades, Jamaica has had a 250% duty protection on chicken meat. Globally, in other countries, the average import duty rate on chicken is 24%. So why are we paying 250%? Or why is the duty rate 250% in Jamaica? Is this really in our people's national interest? Or are we serving the interest of very few individuals, in particular 2 companies? Now, before you all have a knee-jerk reaction and say, but Lisa, it helps protect it because it helps with local production. Let us look at the data rather than emotion. You see, the international cost breakdown to produce a chicken is feed, largely corn. That makes up 61% of a chicken. Baby chicks is 18%. You have to house them, that's 7%. Other inputs are about 10%, and labor is only 4%. We don't make feed in Jamaica. We don't produce corn. We don't produce wheat. We don't produce soybean. Those are the inputs that go into the feed for a chicken. So what we refer to as feed mills in Jamaica are largely big silos and a mixer that blend up everything together, these imported inputs, and that goes into the final product, much in the same way that a mason, you see, mix up concrete, which are sandstone, cement, and water. But at least in concrete, all of those inputs are produced in Jamaica. So the local feed is for chicken is actually totally imported. So in effect, the local Jamaican direct cost input of chicken is less than 10%.
So to Lisa Hanna's point, the import of the $25 million worth of chicken back, chicken neck, chicken foot and stuff like that, it becomes very important to the average Jamaican, because the reality is that the average Jamaican family just cannot afford chicken. And this is not something new. This has been something for decades. Even growing up as a young man in Jamaica, I remember that we could only afford chicken on Sunday. the popular Jamaican Sunday dinner, rice and peas, chicken, and carrot juice. But throughout the rest of the week, some curry chicken back, some chicken foot, some cabbage, some callaloo, and stuff like that. But the important thing now from what Lisa Hanna is saying, in this era now, the monopoly with the two chicken giants in Jamaica that control the entire country. Just let's be honest. Because even the 30,000 chicken farmers that supply those two giants in Jamaica, like they have to get the chicken from them, like the little baby chickens, they have to buy it from those two monopoly holders. They have to buy the chicken feed from them. And this has been going on for decades, because as a child, I remember most people in the inner city area, a lot of people in the rural area would have a chicken coop in their backyard. And I remember as a 15-year-old going into the chicken business, we used to go and buy these baby chicken and clean the cob, put them in there, buy the corn and the feed for them and stuff like that. We've been through that process in the late 80s, early 90s. And it came to a point where it just got too expensive. And most people attribute it to the two giants in Jamaica. So my question is, should the Jamaica government do something to break up the monopoly to make it feasible for other people to enter in the chicken industry in Jamaica, whether or not to have like multi-million-dollar companies getting a license to bring in the baby chicken themselves, have another company being able to bring in the corn and whatever they need to mix to make that chicken feed instead of the two monopoly. Sound off in the comment section and let me know if you think that would solve the problem in Jamaica where a lot of people just can't afford chicken, or do you think the two giants, do you think that they are doing enough? Do you think that they are providing chicken at real market value, or do you think the markup is too much? Sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think.
Did you know that if you apply for a permit to import a container load of chicken in any form, back parts, breast, wing, thigh, whatever, the Ministry of Agriculture first refers the matter to the two chicken monopoly producers to find out if they have any objections? Tell them to challenge me on this. What do you think will be their response? With that kind of system in place, there's effectively no real competition in the marketplace. As a matter of fact, there's no marketplace. You pay what the two local monopolies decide you should pay. And since it is so obvious, you will wonder, well, why is this backward policy been allowed to continue for decades? Well, the false fallacy is that we're saving the livelihood of 30,000 small farmers. But is this really true? And maybe after this video, you'll find them finding farmers who said, no, we've benefited, etc. But ask yourself if it is really true. Is it really true? It is the same two producers who sell the baby chicks to small farmers, the same two producers who sell the feed to small farmers. So it is in their interest to put the price of chicken as high as it can be so that they can convince us that they're actually acting in our best interest.
So in closing, I would like to ask a few questions. Do you think that it is time for the Jamaican government to once and for all get rid of the monopoly between the two chicken giants in Jamaica? Do you think that that would be in the best interest of the Jamaican people? And secondly, do you think that we are importing too much chicken parts in terms of chicken back, chicken foot, and chicken neck from the United States of America? Do you believe that if the government put protections in place for local Jamaican farmers, that there are more Jamaicans that will be able to afford chicken itself and don't have to resort to just chicken back, chicken neck, and chicken foot? Sound off in the comment section and let me know what you think about this topic. And I would like to say, because monopoly is never a good thing. Monopoly is just never a good thing. And we have lived through monopoly in Jamaica before. I remember back in the early days, there was cable and wireless. Cable and wireless had a monopoly pretty much in the entire Caribbean for decades, until I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s, in Jamaica, they decided to introduce Digicel. And when I tell you that having my first cable and wireless phone and having that phone, and it's almost like having a phone at the time was like having a car. It was that expensive to maintain a cable and wireless phone. And then Digicel came in until it got to a point in Jamaica, they say even a madman on the street can have a phone. That's how affordable it got, because the monopoly was broken up and we entered into like a free market where competition was encouraged. So it is baffling that for something that is needed, like food, like chicken, like this is not like a luxury item. You can do without a cell phone, but food, should monopolies be allowed in Jamaica in 2024, going into 2025? Sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you feel about this topic, and keep it respectful in the comment section. We can disagree respectfully. So sound off in the comment section. And guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.